Hey, Mike Brookfield here. Welcome to this video, which is Top 5 Rory Gallagher Riffs. So you might know me from my YouTube channel, Mike Brookfield, or mikebrookfield.com, where I have video courses. But this is like a guest session for my friends at Blues Rock Review. Blues Rock Review, they keep us in touch with all of the Joe Bonamassa, Philip Sace, Anthony Gnomes, all of the great blues rockers, Mike Zito. It kind of keeps us informed on what's happening in the live scene and all the new albums and stuff like that. So make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel, Blues Rock Review, because, you know, we've got to support the music that we love, haven't we? Now, Rory Gallagher. Huge fan of Rory. Used to go and see him in the 80s, kind of Defender era, you know, with, Kickback City and all of that kind of stuff. Used to love, going into the Royal Court, that kind of sticky carpet. I can smell it now, the vibe of a Rory Gallagher gig, just sweaty, real rock and roll kind of stuff. Now today, it's easy to kind of like say what really I think are Rory's best songs. You've got Tattoo Lady, Million Miles Away, I Fall Apart. He's got some kind of great songs in his catalogue, but most people kind of tend to like, I'm Tattoo Lady and Million Miles Away. Now, when I saw Joe Bonamassa recently at the in Cork doing his Rory thing, he absolutely smashed I Fall Apart. That, he totally could own that tune. I'm sure he's recorded it. He's going to release it as something. So if you're watching this in the future, go and check that out. He smashed the whole gig. He was brilliant, but particularly that one, great version of I Fall Apart. Anyway, so let's get into this. This is more about the riffs, Rory's classic riffs. So let's open our account, will we, with the classic Moonchild. It's okay if you make these your own, I think. He says as he completely changes it. But, that's the main riff. And I love that little kind of A pedal. And you've got that little, on the middle two strings, just going up in thirds. And then that run up with a... a rare tapping incident, if you like, in blues rock. Not Clapton. Rory used to do that kind of thing a lot, didn't he? Where he'd kind of bend and he'd kind of like do some kind of novelty thing where he'd go, or he'd go, or something. He'd pull the string from behind the fretted note, or the old, Million Miles Away thing where he goes. Doing a harmonic and then pitching it up from behind the nut. So Rory, he was innovative in his own kind of way, because not a lot of people were doing that back then. If you talk about kind of like mid-70s, just before or around about Eddie Van Halen came along. I suppose when Eddie Van Halen came along, everyone did a little bit and then realised, I'll stick to what I'm good at. Let Eddie do his thing and I'll do mine. Maybe just pop in the odd one note or whatever. Okay, Moonchild. One of my favourites, pretty straightforward. I'll just do it again slow, will I? And then you can have a little play along or whatever. I'm just using a custom shop Strat, going in straight into that Friedman small box. No pedals, just a curly cable straight in. Then we don't have to talk about pedals or anything, do we? Here we go, so... Play a bit of A minor blues. and then it's an E minor, F, D, back to. There you have it, Moonchild. Next, Bought and Sold. Oh, I play this one a lot on gigs, actually, whether I'm doing solo gigs or with the band. It's just quite a satisfying riff to play. So I'll back off the volume just a tad. So I just love that. So like what Moonchild was in thirds, and this is kind of in sixths, isn't it? So interesting that. You know what I mean? If you're trying to get to know your intervals, that's one way of, thinking about it. Okay, so that's Bought and Sold. I'll play that a little bit slower, right? That's what I wrote in the tab there. So that's 2. Let's check out the next one. What's it going to be? Laundromat. Oh, yeah. So, Why do you think of that? I'm going down to the laundromat. If you should pass by, just come right in. When you go back to the riff after the vocal, you have to make sure you go da da before you play the riff. So otherwise the riff comes in like 2 beats too early. So try that again. Playing an A to a D, E power chord, A power chord, kind of the same, A to D, back to A. I love the middle 8 there as well. And be my friend, I'll be with you right there till the end, right there till the end, right there till the end. You get the idea. It's kind of cool the way it goes into that. That riff. So that's, how many have we done? 3. There's number 4. Cradle Rock. So, Irish Tour. Big tune on Irish Tour, this, isn't it? And just that starting. That's kind of what's written. Then you can hear that I'm doing that pinch harmonic-y vibe there. I was a bit cheeky there. I just wrote etc. You know what I mean? But at that point, if I was playing this on a gig, I'd do that much. Do it again. Do it again, but keep going up. And then play a load of E blues. Cheating there using the whammy. He wasn't a whammy guy, was he? Rory. But anyway, there you go, I've done it now. And then so you can see that first time you play the higher E, and then on the repeat you play the lower E. So So that if that's 4, that means there's 1 left. I hope you're enjoying this video. Please check out my new course at mikebrookfield.com. It's 17 lessons, 12 performance videos. We do blues in all keys. It's a really valuable thing that I use with my students all the time. So let's check out which is Bad Penny. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm doing it like I'm surprised. I literally just set this up a minute ago, but I have forgotten. I know so many of his riffs, but you know. It's always good to do it up the octave, you know. So there you go. There's our 5 top Rory Gallagher riffs. That was good fun, wasn't it? Maybe if you like this video, let Blues Rock Review know. Maybe we'll do it again sometime. So I've been Mike Brookfield anyway for Blues Rock Review on this guest lesson video. Rory Gallagher's 5 top riffs. Keep it burning. I'll see you again.